Welcome to our show, Heal the World with Love, Part 1 of 2.
Hello, my name is Amare, and I will be joining everyone in today's journey.
Despite all the loss and grief inflicted by the COVID-19 pandemic, people across the world have taken actions to spread joy, strength, and healing where it is most needed. In our two-part show, we want to highlight some of the noble children and teens who have gone above and beyond for the greater good.
That sounds amazing! I can't wait to see how these kids share their love during lockdown.
In part 1 of our show, we will explore some of the technological innovations kids have invented to help improve our world. Two boys from India, Jashiv Narang and Ayush Sankaran, took advantage of the precious lockdown time by developing a smartphone app called Climate Catastrophe, Earth and Dearth in only 7 days. The app consists of 3 parts: learn, test, and play. All are about climate change. Users can calculate their carbon footprint based on their daily activities. It also has 2 games. One is about deforestation, and the other is about renewable energy. Their app won an award in the App Inventor Hackathon 2020, held by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT.
A smartphone app that's not only entertaining, but also helps the world? We need more of that.
Stephen Wamukoda, a 9-year-old boy from Kenya, independently built 2 simple devices from wooden window frames. These contraptions help people wash and sanitize their hands without worrying about frequently touched surfaces, like faucet handles and soap dispensers.
That's brilliant! How does it work?
Young Stephen created a foot pedal to turn on water and dispense soap, instead of using a faucet handle or soap container. His invention won him the Presidential Order of Service, Uzalendo or Patriotic Award, from His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta.
That's awesome! An award from the president? Steven's invention will save so many lives.
Like Stephen, a 12-year-old boy from San Francisco, USA, named Misan Rupan Tompkins, invented a smart tool to help people avoid germs. He was inspired with the idea when he noticed his parents were struggling to open doors using their sleeves. He used a 3D printer to make hook-like devices called Safe Touch Pro in order to minimize interacting with high-touch surfaces.
These devices look so sleek and cool. What would you consider to be a high-touch surface?
High-touch surfaces are objects people interact with frequently to get around, such as door handles, elevator buttons, and ATMs.
Ah, I can imagine these are very useful in cities and densely populated areas.
Exactly. People can use it to open doors and hit keypads without ever coming in direct contact with their hands. What's more, they are made from plant-based, germ-resistant plastic materials.
3D printers really have opened a whole new avenue of innovation. I believe I heard about some kids using this printing technology to make face shields.
That's right. A 13-year-old Canadian boy named Warren Richmond made face shields for healthcare workers. Warren is passionate about 2 things in life: hockey and design. When he read the news that hospitals were in desperate need of more face shields, he decided to utilize his own 3D printer to help. To cheer up the children in the hospital, he printed superhero images and other cute figures on the headbands. They are then attached to shields made with PETG plastic. which is resistant to higher temperatures and can be sterilized. Forming an assembly line with his supportive parents, Warren was able to deliver the initial 52 shields to sick kids in late April. Knowing that COVID-19 has been affecting senior citizens the most, he planned to make more shields for workers at long-term care facilities and print images like G.I. Joe, which are more well-known by the older generations.
Warren is so considerate of the physical and mental well-being of those in need. His shields are gifts of love.
Warren was not the only one who came up with this idea. Two 15-year-old boys, Jack Gibson from Northern Ireland and Harry Cooper from the United Kingdom, also used the 3D printers to make face visors for frontline workers free of charge.
What an amazing coincidence! It's a considerate way to use technology.
These are not all. Kind-hearted Savannah Cecchini from Louisiana, USA, converted simple storage boxes into sanitizing bins. At 17 years old, she made use of her science background and leveraged a UVC light as the sanitizing method. She donated many of these sanitizing boxes to the doctors and nurses in hospitals, allowing them to safely and efficiently sanitize any possessions they have, such as rings, watches, or phones. Savannah told the reporter from WAFB.
She's a nurse, and she's been talking about how difficult it is for the nurses and for the doctors and for the hospital staff. And I wanted to do my part during this pandemic and help out and hopefully make a difference and make it easier for them. I wish I could do more, honestly.
Such a considerate young lady. These actions make doctors and nurses feel safer and cared for. These are amazing technological innovations. What resourceful kids!
Resourceful indeed, not to mention all the other acts of kindness that young people have contributed to, like creating masks, sanitation kits, and care packages for essential workers and other vulnerable people. Meet Isabella Appel, 17 from California, USA. With accessibility in mind, dedicated countless hours to designing and making talking masks so that deaf people can lip read while keeping everyone safe. Isabella's mom said,
She would do homework or study until 10 or 11 at night, and then would cut and sew until 2 or 3 in the morning and start the whole process over again early the next morning.
What intense dedication!
A customer who benefited from talking masks commented
that as a teenager, this is what Isabella chose to focus on, to facilitate our need for access and help the deaf community be able to communicate in this time. I'm so grateful that her interest in this area led her to do this.
You can buy the talking masks at talking-masks.com. Aside from covering production costs, the rest of the money will all be donated to the Hearing Aid Project. Other children who have compassionately given their time, money, and love to the community include Trương Thị Linh Nhạn and Trương Cao Khôi from Hanoi, Oleg, also known as Vietnam, who used their lucky money to send 20,000 face masks to the United Kingdom. 11-year-old Holly Morgan from Georgia, USA, is another example of these compassionate kids. She became concerned after hearing about mandatory masks laws and how some people were going to be affected. So she sold hundreds of masks for homeless people. 13-year-old junior high school student Hime Takimoto from Kofu, Japan, used her own savings to make 612 masks for seniors, orphans, and people who needed it. 12-year-old Alex Henderson from Maryland, USA, donated over 1,000 masks for nurses and first responders.
We have so many kids who have dedicated their time and energy to help their local community, their country, and the world. These are all pure-hearted acts of kindness to make the world a better place for all.
Yeah, not to mention all the young unsung heroes that continually put their love in action around the world. My young friends, what's a good deed that you plan to do? What can we do with our two hands?
What can I do with my own two hands? I can change the world with my own two hands. Happiness comes from my own two hands. I can give a hug to my dad, hug my brother when he's feeling bad, pick some flowers when mom is feeling sad. Or I can blow a kiss with my own two hands, cook a meal with my own two hands, plant a tree with my own two hands. 'Cause there's so much love inside of me, let's spread it around for everyone to receive, and fill this world with love and peace.
We welcome your ideas and feedback to help us improve our program on Kids Wonderland. Please send them via suprememastertv.com/